Screen time salutation to all you internet dwellers out there, and welcome to another episode of Screen Time Continuum. I am Nick, and I am here as always with Keelan. How's it going, man?
It's going awesome. It's going awesome. It's a great Wednesday for me. As
Nice.
I will continue to say until we are at least done with this series, it is a wonderful Odin's Day.
Indeed, it is.
If I may add, it is one of those days that makes you think, man, there was a holiday the other day, isn't
it? Right. Everything seems to be coming back from the sleepy weekend, I think. And yeah. So we're definitely partying up on this Odin's Day, and we got the mustard in the house. How you doing, Dijon?
I'm doing decent. I'm a little sore, kind of under the weather, but it is what it is. Happy Odin's Day.
Absolutely. Yeah, it is what it is. We are here to have a discussion about the 5th episode of Loki on Disney+. This is your fair warning now. We are going to be talking about spoilers for the episode 5 of Loki. So if you haven't seen it, please go check it out and then come back to this video and listen to us critique it. Or if you don't mind being spoiled, or if you've seen it, stick with us and enjoy the journey of this conversation. I guess before we get into it, is there anything else? No, I think we should just go right into first impressions. So how about we hit Dijon up with his first impressions for this episode? How'd you feel about it?
God damn, that was fast.
Yeah, I know.
Honestly, I couldn't sleep last night because of certain reasons. I was pretty upset, but hoping this episode would make me feel good. I ended up watching it at midnight as soon as they put it out. It was all right. It's all right, and it's definitely starting to shape how I feel about this series. And I don't want to say this, but I'm feeling WandaVision a little bit more now.
Interesting. That's an interesting take. I think I can understand where you're coming from, but we'll definitely dive into our feelings about this. So let's get Keelan's first impressions first.
Oh, man. My first impressions of this particular episode. Whew. Man, finally. All right, cool. So that would be my initial impression. But as a coverage theme, I mean, I like the introduction of new concepts, new characters. I was just glad to get some freshness. If nothing else, some freshness.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. I definitely can feel both of your guys' sentiment. Yeah, I would say that, and this is just my first impression off the bat because this is kind of what I thought of after I watched it. Why didn't we get this episode sooner? You know, like I feel like what was going on in this episode is the show that I wanted to see. You know, like, and it's so funny because I didn't even know that was the show I wanted to see until I saw this episode, and then I was like, "Oh, damn!
Right?
You mean the whole show could have been like this?"
Right?
You know, like, and yeah, that was kind of a bummer because then I think about all the other episodes, and I'm like, really, you took that long to lead up to this point? I really feel like this episode could have been episode 3.
This episode should have been episode 3. Okay, so and to explain how that could have worked for those who are out there like, no, that wouldn't make any sense. Yes, it would. So you would have Mobius prune Loki, and the only thing that would really have to change is Mobius would have to have some knowledge of the void, not of the TVA, but of the void. That's it. That's the only thing you have to change.
Yeah, not very much that you would have to change, honestly, and. I guess we can kind of just jump right into the deeper stuff, but I guess my first sort of thoughts were I really wanted to see more of this world that we went to. I guess you can call it the Land of the Void. I'm not sure what they're calling it right now, the final timeline or...
No, they're just calling it the Void.
The Void.
Oh, okay. Well, you mean the land that Loki...
everybody gets pruned
I don't think there's a name. Oh, yeah, no. Yeah, they call it the Void that everybody gets pruned into. That's just the Void.
Okay. I really would have liked to see more of that, to be honest. I mean, we saw some really interesting stuff there. And I almost thought, I don't know if you guys caught this, and I didn't rewind to double check, but as soon as you see the first panning shot of the Void, was there an Omega symbol a la DC? Like a nod at the DC universe?
I feel like yes, but maybe not intentionally, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I didn't rewind to double check, but it looked like when you pan into the void the first time and you go through and you see like Avengers Tower, like the first couple seconds, there's like this red Omega symbol almost. And it kind of like, I thought it would be just like a nod to the, the Justice League.
Justice League,
like
yeah.
Well, it could be. I mean, the only thing I can see from the Megasym, anything dealing with, I mean, the X-Men from like Apocalypse to,
Fair.
I mean, I would love to see this if they ever do a Wolverine movie. I would love to see Omega Red. They haven't even did this guy yet. So
okay,
and it was a red Omega, so maybe that was an Easter egg.
Perhaps that would actually kind of correlate and make a lot of sense.
Right. But yeah, so what do you guys want to jump into? What do we like? What do we dislike?
Oh man, let's jump straight into the Void and it being a post-apocalyptic world that is essentially the feeding grounds for a life. That to me is probably the largest story of this entire episode. Actually, that is the story of this episode.
Yeah, for sure.
And I like how they led into it, making us think, oh, you're going to learn so much about Loki. No, we just met like 50 more Lokis that have the same personality.
Pretty much. Yeah. They all seem pretty similar, except for Alligator Loki.
I think Alligator Loki was the, I was just about to say that he was the most logical one. Oh, I don't like you.
Yeah, it was pretty good. That's what I kind of found annoying about the episode, where I'm like, I did like the idea that there's other Lokis and the whole, there is a multiverse. This is not the sacred timeline bullshit. It is a multiverse. And it kind of they poke fun out of it when the Loki is just screaming and yelling like, dude, we're all the fucking same. We just can't help but do this to each other. Yeah. But the Void Wide, I would have loved to see other things in the Void besides Loki's.
Yes. Yeah.
But we did actually.
Besides Owen Wilson.
Well, there was Owen Wilson. There was the ship.
Yeah.
And then there was something else I remember. No, okay, we're just gonna leave it at that.
I feel like there was
I know there's a few other things that popped up, but they weren't as distinguishable as the ship and Owen Wilson. Yeah. But I do agree with you that there should have been much more, because that was my thing. Like, so is this the void of Loki's, or is this the general void? And where's everything else? Or is everything else just that trash at surviving that Eliath is getting to it? And what made all of they're good at surviving. Never mind. Yeah. They said that enough to where that would have been just redundant for me to even say out loud.
And it was just like one of those issues. Like, one thing I did enjoy, kind of enjoy in the whole thing, where they poke fun. A lot of people had this theory back when Avengers Infinity War came out, when Loki died at the beginning at the hands of Thanos. They were like, he's not dead. He probably projected himself like he's done in previous movies. And no, we found out he's fucking dead. But it was funny how that older classic version of Loki is like, I projected myself. I'm not stupid. What the fuck?
Yeah. That was pretty good.
To me, he's more the classic Loki, because, and hence the older uniform too. That is the classic Loki move. I'm gonna hide over here. My magic is so strong that you're gonna think it's a real person. That's the Loki we know before the MCU came out.
Yeah, for sure.
The only Loki you saw before the MCU.
Yeah. Did you guys catch the Thanos Stark tech?
Yeah. Tech? No, I didn't catch any tech.
Well, the helicopter.
No, I didn't see that.
Oh yeah, there was a helicopter right next to a missile that said Thanos on it. It was just kind of a cool Easter egg, I thought, because it's like, oh, maybe that's a universe where Thanos becomes like Tony Stark. And just that would have been cool.
that would be Titan.
Yeah, fair enough.
Just
Yeah.
But yeah, so I thought that was all really cool. And definitely the mention of Thanos, learning about, excuse me one moment. Sorry about that. Learning about how each of the Lokis, what their Nexus event was, that was interesting, especially for the kid. He killed Thor. Okay, yeah, you're in charge. No questions.
But to be fair, it's a kid Thor, so
clearly, and I thought about that as well. Like, okay, kid Loki kills kid Thor. He probably did that on accident.
Yeah, probably.
And then you had Thor with, Thor with Loki's hammer. Loki with Thor's hammer, or with Mjolnir. Why did he have to be the traitor?
Because he's black.
Yeah.
You said it, I didn't.
Hey, did you guys catch the miniature Thor in a bottle?
Yes.
I did not
they're
see
going
that
underground. Yeah,
That's pretty cool.
That's hilarious.
That was cool.
And to be clear, the reason I actually thought he had Thor's hammer was not because he was black, and I think he's just a traitor. Like, that is his trait. That, like, of course, he's a Loki
thing,
right? Yeah, he's a Loki. But overall, I think it was the sentiment of him having Thor's hammer means he betrayed his brother the same way Kid Loki killed his brother.
Probably, yeah.
So his strongest trait was betrayal. Like, the older one's strongest trait was projection. They all were clearly really strong at something, which we don't know. What is 616 Loki? What is his strongest trait? Just being a
he's got none. Just being a weakling.
He's just being his thing, because for that, because this universe, the MCU is like 1999 something.
Okay, I'm sorry.
I gotta look it up, but no, it's not the 616. Like, they're strictly trying to make the 616 the comic books. But the thing is, with the 616 universe, I don't even know where Loki is really at. He's just kind of like doing his thing. But the thing is, this is what I said, I've enjoyed what Disney's done with Marvel Studios is basically reinvent the wheel for these characters. Bring something old, but also make it refreshing and new. And this is why I was saying earlier that this won't get old for, comic book heads, because comic book heads are going to be like, yeah, they're giving me what I want. I'm getting a chance to see it. But at the same time, they're just like, oh, okay, cool. So they probably won't never get tired of it to a point, versus people who are not so much involved in it. And we're like, I'm feeling the fatigue, so you know what? I'm gonna back off, which
happens.
I'm on both sides of the fence with that. I'm a comic book head, and at the same time, I can feel a bit fatigued. But in this sense, I do like the idea that they're giving these variants like different abilities.
Yeah, it is,
which is cool.
Yeah,
I think we're all in an abusive relationship with Marvel. I think
we are, and I'm looking forward to getting strangled on Friday.
I'm gonna just say that I don't think it's Marvel quite yet. I think it's more Disney, because
Disney.
I'm feeling them chains on Star Wars and this.
You guys are talking about that. I'm still hooked on cartoons like Mighty Ducks.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't even remember that cartoon.
Is that on Disney Plus yet? Oh, it is. Okay, I'll watch that.
That's right. I know you're gonna go, because it was amazing when we were kids.
It was great.
You'll have your adult opinion, like I have my adult opinion.
Just give me Beast Wars and I'm good.
Oh God, please give me Beast Wars.
We get the live action one next year. Ron Perlman.
Oh boy.
Perlman as
the
Monkey Prime or whatever. I forget his name.
I don't think Hellboy is gonna help make that any better.
Probably not.
I do want to say really quick. To the concept of where the 616 Loki would be, if that is the comic books, then he would be with Enchantress, because that would be the Loki that betrays Thor. So essentially, that would be the Black Loki in the show.
It could be, because the thing is, in 616,
or Millionaire Loki. Let's call him Millionaire Loki.
I think him and Enchantress had a child, and the child ended up being Hela. Because in this movie universe, Hela is basically like their sister they never knew about, which pissed off a lot of people.
Yeah, I didn't like that either.
I'm like, okay. So yeah. So I wouldn't be surprised if they kind of give this shit a twist to it. Him and this
another one,
like between him and this Sylvie, this other variant.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's the twist. That's what I'm saying. Another one.
They remixed the whole idea of Lady Loki, because the whole thing of Lady Loki is that Loki died and his soul ended up getting into like Valkyrie or some shit. Not Val. I think Sif. My bad. I think it's Sif.
I think it is Sif.
Then he became Lady Loki, and that was that. In this, I wouldn't be surprised. Well, since Enchantress is not here, hey, these two make an offspring, and we get Enchantress.
I mean, I said from the beginning, she looks like Enchantress.
Exactly.
She would have probably been a great Enchantress.
And they don't even explain how she has blonde hair versus the brunette kid she was.
Because she's the Enchantress.
That's going to be the plot twist for the last episode. And I'm just going to be like, fuck.
Wait, so that would then have to make the Enchantress a Loki, though, which,
I don't even want to get confused. You know what?
Weirdo part of it.
So do you guys think she's finessing everybody in this whole thing? She's going to do a double cross at the end?
No. It depends on what a double cross is. As I alluded to earlier, if we find out that the person running the TVA and everything that's going on is a Loki, then I see a huge what the hell, why? But if we were to find out it was say an energy force or something like that, because we're gonna have to find out something now. They're traveling to this mystical place. We need something now. If we were to find out anything short of it being another Loki, there's gonna be just
I'm gonna be pissed
so much where right, and so because she won't be, it won't matter which side Sylvie's on. It won't matter if she betrays or it's gonna be all right, what are we doing?
I know this is. Oh yeah, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Oh no, I was just gonna say I know that this is wishful thinking, but I don't know. There's something kind of reminded me a little bit of Doctor Strange in this episode.
Well, the thing is, the showrunner.
Maybe it's okay. Sorry.
I was gonna say the thing is the showrunner is doing a Doctor Strange movie too.
Right. You said that.
Yeah.
And that makes me think it's what's his name? Marduk. Yeah. Him.
You got mum's the word.
Mum's the word.
But yeah, the guy who was once Doctor Strange's partner and then they fell out.
The black guy?
Yeah.
You think it? I mean, I think it's Doctor Strange only because he's the keeper of the time stone, and it would make sense that if Doctor Strange is kind of like that type of personality that would want a perfect timeline so that everything falls in place. He doesn't really it doesn't seem like he likes chaos all that much, and so
he doesn't
seem like. I mean, maybe it's not even the Stephen Strange that we know. It's just a different one that's out there that's controlling things really hardcore.
Right. And that makes a lot of sense to me because of that scene in the Doctor Strange movie where he's having the discussion with the Supreme Ruler, I forgot what her name is. Baron Mordo. Sorry, that's his name. Baron Mordo. What if it's Baron Mordo? But when she's having that discussion with Doctor Strange about how time works and not being able, not with Doctor Strange, with the Hulk, about not being able to do certain things because of splitting the timeline, et cetera, how that was used to make the TVA make sense. If we translate that back to Doctor Strange and we remember that was one of the hardest things for him to accept is you have to involve chaos with the order in order to really find balance. You might be spot on right there.
I think we might see that with Wanda, since she's supposedly supposed to be in the next Doctor Strange movie.
Well, that would make her the ultimate chaos and make
because if you go back to WandaVision,
Doctor Strange, the Ultimate Order. Excuse me, sorry.
What's her name? Agatha called Wanda a Nexus event.
A Nexus event. Yep. No, she's a Nexus being.
Yeah, Nexus being. So, I'm sorry. At this point, I'm just like, hurry the fuck up. I just want to see what's going to happen.
Yeah.
I mean, this episode kind of left me pissed on certain things. Going back to Renslayer with the TVA, how the fuck you do not know what's going on?
That's I totally agree with you. That's probably the weakest storyline right now because I'm not convinced by anything that she does. Honestly, the fact that she's I don't know what's going on. I don't believe you. Sorry. And maybe she's just a bad actress or the writing's bad, but it's I don't I don't know. There was a moment where they were like, it was Renslayer and Sylvie, and they're literally just finished fighting, and then Renslayer's, you're just gonna have to trust me.
Yeah, I thought that was the worst line.
I was like, what? Why?
The worst moment. Like, why?
You guys just got done fighting, and now you're like, oh, trust me, I'll help you out. Like,
what? That wasn't believable at all. But
no.
My issue with the Renslayer character particularly is you not just the flip-flopping with Sylvie, right? Like, oh, I'm your friend, I'm not. Oh, I'm your friend, I'm not. Back to the whole, oh, I don't know what's going on, right?
Yeah.
So you do know that those aren't the Lizard Kings, what are the Timekeepers?
Mm-hmm.
That part we gather you clearly knew in advance. We covered that because of how unsurprised she was. She just went on about her business.
Mm-hmm.
But you never thought to yourself, who is running this and where are they? That never crossed your mind. You just figure, hey, I'm in charge. Everybody's let me do what I want to. I go in here, act like I'm talking to somebody, and I'm talking to nobody, and I walk out.
No, that's why I'm not buying it. So it's like
I feel like she created it.
Yeah, right. It kind of even feels that way almost. Like she's the mastermind trying to keep everything a secret. But I'm like, but then is that a good enough reveal? You know, like, I mean, it's just not convincing to me at that point, because then it's like, well, the TVA existed when Renslayer was just a soldier. Right. And she was the one that picked up Sylvie. So
but then that leads to question
before that.
Right. That would lead to question, how does, like I was thinking before, how does succession work in the TVA?
Mm-hmm, right. Exactly. How do you get promoted?
Right. So it's like, are you inhabited? Are you mentally controlled? Do you just pass? So like, how does that work?
Yeah.
And to add to that, if every time you prune somebody, they end up in the void, you couldn't prune an agent. So what do you do when they step out of line? You prune an agent, they're going to the void and they're telling everything. And then you get to the void and find out they know everything already. Like,
but I think they expect that no one. I mean, they see it that no one comes out. That's it. And until you get no one that has the power to enchant something. I'm sorry. I think the writers for this series, they had something unique, and they're getting to a point they just don't know what to really do about it. Because I feel like, come on, as the audience, we already know Loki's journey. Mm-hmm. And now we're getting reminded of Loki's journey through a different version of Loki. So we're reliving this shit all in a compact time. And it's just like, oh, so I guess this dude is like, he's going to be the hero from now on.
Oh, okay. But it's not, but let's also be clear. This is the lamest Loki that's ever been.
Yeah.
Considering,
honestly. I would rather alligator Loki. Honestly, at least alligator Loki has a spine and bites people. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like, this Loki doesn't do anything. Did you see at the very end, when they're about to face down what's his name? Eliath, when they're standing next to each other, and then Loki literally goes and cowers behind Sylvie and is like, "What are we gonna do? What do we like?"
Cowers off to the right of her, right in the back.
I was like, wait, dude, come on, have a backbone, man.
Or even when they're in action, she has to clench his hand stronger to give him like, bro.
Yeah.
Also,
what good are you?
Right. Also, I meant to mention this when I first mentioned Goliath. Who was gonna sue you? King James, bro. Just use the original name. I don't get it.
Yeah.
Oh, the Eliath. I have to look through the comic books to find out if the Eliath.
There probably is something named Eliath in there.
Probably.
And back then, I'm sure they couldn't use Goliath because they would just be attacked by the community.
Do you guys think that there's any association with the pink smoke again? Because we've seen that in Strange, and then WandaVision, and now this.
I think that is the chaos.
It's like the chaos magic.
Yeah. Well, no, but chaos is purple, right?
Red or something.
Red is
so chaos is red, and then purple's
like dark magic, I guess.
Right. Okay, so but yes, I do think there is a connection there. Red is chaos. What was the purple? I don't know why that is confusing me right now, but I did like the fact that we finally saw a little bit of on-screen chemistry.
Yes, there was a brief moment. Yes.
Honestly, that I was going to mention that. Yeah, that actually worked well. I'm like, you know what? That the first episode, kind of like 2.5 episodes with them, I'm like, man, these actor and actresses do not have chemistry. But they're like, all right. I'm like, all right, okay. So for them to have chemistry, you gotta try to play the romance game. I'm like, all right, okay, cool.
Yeah. Do you guys think that Loki's gonna sacrifice himself for Sylvie? Because I kind of think so.
I think he was trying to sacrifice himself for Sylvie. In this situation now, I don't think sacrifice is even an option. I don't. Do I want to get to my predictions already?
Unless we got other things to talk about.
I mean, there's a few more things going on out here. First off, their amount of denial,
like denial about what?
Just their denial of how they feel about each other. You're Loki.
Oh yeah, that was so belabored, dude.
Right.
My God. I mean, like, dude, Tom Hiddleston is such a wuss that he can't even say his feelings. I mean,
when they're scripted.
Yeah, when they're scripted.
They remind me of that Will Ferrell movie, the Eurovision thing. I forgot the actress he played with, and like they like each other, but they can't. I'm like, they did a better job of poking fun at that. Like,
yeah. Oh yeah. It's just so like, come on, man, just get the words out. Good Lord.
Right.
Like, how difficult is it? You guys stop pretending that, I don't do love because I'm a Loki.
I want to put my pee in your bungalow.
You can't hurt me, love. But no, so I want to also talk about the older Loki acknowledging not being the god of survival, not being the god of mischief, but being the god of the outcasts. I thought that was not just pivotal, but it was one of those moments where now you get the opportunity as the writers of not just the show, but the movies, right? Because the showrunner for this is the showrunner for the movies now, for Doctor Strange at least. There's going to clearly be a little bit of Loki involved in that. And they were able.
Hell no.
No,
I think there will.
No, come on. Let's retire.
I'm sorry. Maybe some
He's
Sylvie.
over.
Maybe some Sylvie.
Done. Oh, even worse. Come on.
Or the TVA. Something will correlate. I mean, it's
TVA, I'm fine with.
Yeah, it's going to have to correlate in some way. Maybe Mobius pops up. But just being the guy of the outcast, and then knowing, in my mind at least, knowing that there will be some type of understanding, right? How everything's going to correlate. Like, everything is going to fall together by the time we see the movie. I don't know how. Don't ask me to make mysteries into facts. But what I am getting the sense of is with them coming up with the God of Outcast and showing all of a sudden the nature of Loki is not to be a loner. Like, that has changed. So now Loki's going to become more of a team player. And I hate to have to admit it, I feel a hero moment coming. Like, there was a hero moment in this episode, but I feel a hero moment coming out of Loki. And that's really what I'm getting at. Unfortunately, I think he's going to be an Avenger.
No, he's not. No,
all right, I'm being funny.
No, he's not. I mean, this is his swan song. I would be. My God, how many characters can they choose from? They got to drill in the same old characters over and over again.
I mean, hey,
they're trying to mix it up,
shake it.
No, just bring it. If you want a diverse cast, just bring in the existing characters that already exist. You know what I mean? Like, stop trying to rehash the ones that work.
He's like, I'm just going to take Natalie Portman as Thor. Goodbye.
Natalie Portman as Thor would have been crazy.
Well, we will see that in the next movie.
I don't think it'll be Natalie Portman, but I understand.
If we don't get Frog,
we're going to see Natalie Portman as female Thor.
I know.
I didn't know she's who they wrote for that. So is she going to dye her hair blonde?
Probably not.
We can see a blonde Natalie Portman. That'll be interesting.
It might. I don't know, but yeah.
If we see a brunette Thor, that'll be equally interesting.
Yeah. If we do not get Frog Thor, then we riot. That's all I got to say about
it. All I'm saying is, if we get a brunette Thor, I'm looking for like some Conan rights or something to be challenged. That's all.
We're gonna see Tessa Thompson come back
as Valkyrie still.
As Valkyrie, we get Natalie Portman to come back as her character. I forget her character name, but she's also going to be willing Mjolnir in this. I don't know how the fuck that's gonna happen, but we're gonna see that.
Maybe she gets Stormbreaker.
Then
you know, I'm actually down. I'm actually down to see a Valkyrie movie though.
Yeah.
I think Valkyrie would have a very interesting story. Only if they tell the origin of the Valkyrie, not just give me this cool story.
I feel
about
like that's
how
too
Valkyrie's
close to Wonder Woman.
No, not at all.
I'll give you guys this. You won't get a Valkyrie TV show, but I would not be surprised they'll do something called the A-Team. Not the A-Team. It's called not the A-Team. It's called the A something. But it's
no. Are you talking about the Hulk Squad?
No.
A-Bomb?
No. That's something else. There. I forgot what it's called, but it starts with an A, and it's basically a bunch of female characters from Marvel, like their own Avengers, and they're just come together.
Oh yeah, you can bring Pepper Potts in too.
Ooh yeah, she's an Iron Man.
Let me look.
Or I'm sorry, she's an Iron Person.
An Iron Person.
They just call her Rescue.
Oh yes, her name is Rescue technically. Huh?
Yeah.
My bad, y'all. But
yeah.
To the Valkyrie point, but isn't a Valkyrie a Nephilim? Half human, half god.
I mean, technically, they are demigods in like the Norse mythology, I think.
Right.
But
so that's what I'm thinking. That would be a lot separate from the Amazon story.
Amazons are kind of demigods as well. They come from Greek mythology. It's just swapping out Greek and Norse mythology.
Right. They would be pretty much without wings.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry. I found it. It's called the A-Force.
Who's that? The A-Force?
It runs like
SWAT.
Yeah, it runs like it mixes up like Spider-Woman, She-Hulk, Medusa, a couple of them. They all swap around.
Mm-hmm.
So, that black chick that was in I forget her name, but she's a chick with the metal arm that was introduced in the Netflix series. Whatever her name was.
You're talking about in Luke Cage.
Yeah. She's part
Misty.
of that squad. Misty.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I forget what Misty Knight. Thank you. I was trying to remember what was her full name. Okay. Yeah, I didn't know.
I wouldn't be surprised they do a TV show right after.
Jessica wasn't a part of that?
I don't think so. Maybe.
I would think Misty would pull her in once in a while. Like, I saved your ass enough. Bring your ass over here and do this job.
I try not. I try my best not to read the current shit. It's just really bad. I'm talking about political correct. It's really bad.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, it's a shame. I mean, hopefully they can do something decent, but I don't know. I think Loki's done after this. I don't think that there's any more need for him.
There's gonna have to be a reference or something in one of these movies. They got to make this make sense. And the next hour is not enough time.
That's fair.
After credits.
You're right. One after credit scene.
30 seconds ain't enough time neither.
No, it's not. Okay, well, do you guys have anything you wanted to predict or anything that you want to see in the next episode? What are you feeling?
So to that, I do not predict that Loki will have to sacrifice himself. I do predict, however, that as I said a moment ago, whomever is the head of this will determine the outcome of Sylvie and Loki. The only thing I think would really make this just terrible is if Renslayer is there already and come to find out maybe she kills the person, whomever it is. But then at that point, it's like, for why?
Yeah, there's nothing to suggest that Renslayer is any different than any other TVA person. So I don't know why she's so like awesome and powerful. Why?
Well, just because she's like the manager.
I guess
she has all the keys to the building and the access codes.
Who's a middle manager compared to all of these heroes that we've seen? You know what I mean? It's just like, it doesn't seem like she should put up a fight up against even Loki's. Like, right. She doesn't have powers.
Yeah, you're right. Well, the TVA takes away their magic, so if they're in the TVA, they can't do anything against her. But outside the TVA, I'm with you. I don't get it.
Yeah, that's fair.
And then as far as where they're headed, that part just throws me. How do you feel about the hidden city, Dejan?
Looks like a castle.
Definitely looks like a castle.
I mean, at this point, I'm like, the things I would want, it's wishful thinking. And at this time and point, I'm just like, let's wrap it up and give me what I'm most likely am looking for. Like when I go see a Marvel movie now, I necessarily don't like a character, but I'm like, give me the Easter eggs for something that I'm gonna want to see later. So I'm just like, let's wrap this shit up and give me what's the possibility on the next big thing I might want to see.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just don't want to see Daenerys fly from behind that tower.
Yeah, I think it's I think it's interesting too, because going back to the first comments we made about this needing to be earlier in the season, I feel like there's something weird that they do with shooting or filming that they try to make each of these things like their own movie, each episode. But then like the overarching thing is supposed to be one big movie. But the problem is like you end up having like 2 or 3 episodes that are basically useless, that just aren't good. And it's because they need to have a certain amount of episodes for the story or whatever. But it is strange to me because I feel like if somebody recut all of this footage, you probably could get a decent 4 episodes out of this without having the drudge of episode 2 and 3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, like if you could just lump some of 2 into 1 and then 3 into 4, then I think you'd be fine. Yeah.
That's what I was just about to say. I'm like, to this moment, episodes 2 and 3 have no point to this show.
Exactly.
No.
I just revisit. I haven't even finished the movie. That's how bad it is to me. I just revisited watching Rise of Skywalker, and I feel the same way. Like that Star Wars trilogy with this TV show. Like what you guys said, the writing is sloppy. In my point, I mean, fuck, dude. It's the first time I'm actually saying this about anything Marvel. I just feel like I was psyched about this. I just feel like the writing was sloppy. I think they had something interesting, and they just didn't know how to run with it. They just did not know how to ride that bike.
No,
they might have got first up against the ball. Might have had a timeline.
Yeah,
too big of a concept and too small of a story. You know what I mean? I think that's kind of what it is, because also like this potentially has some of the biggest ramifications in all of this. So if what they say is going to happen happens, and the TVA is taken down and the multiverse is kind of reinvigorated, that is on the same level as Thanos snap. You know what I mean? Like that is a huge cosmic event, and it feels like this show doesn't deserve that event. You know what I mean? Like,
exactly. And they already kind of iterated that going back to what had happened in Endgame. Like, we already knew. I mean, I guess some of us already knew that something future on is going to deal with time, different timelines. I'm like, there was some shit that didn't go down right. They fucked up. So something had fucking happened.
Yeah, I'm not really sure. But I mean, like, I definitely hope that the next episode is decent. I don't know who's in the castle, but we're gonna find out. I hope that it's somebody that you're not like, who,
right? Disney princess.
Oh, it could be. Maybe it's Elsa. And since she's just frozen.
It could be Elsa. Hey, look, they could definitely use some ice help in this situation to slow down not just time, but to slow down their beating hearts.
Right.
But no, I think absolutely. If we had to really find out not just who's in the tower, but just who's behind all this. Because what if we find out who's in the tower isn't even behind all of this, right?
Yeah, right. There's another person behind.
Right. Like, so we definitely, I think, if anything, we should get that out of the next episode for sure. Like that, if it's one thing I need, we need to find out who are we looking for. Are we looking for Doctor Strange? What was Kang the Conqueror? We've asked about. Shoot, are we finally gonna get Mephisto in this? Is that where he comes up?
No, it's not happening. Right. But we have some comments here that we should probably address before we wrap this up, because I'm sorry, you guys, I did not see the comments going off, so please apologize. But we'll go through them right now. And this says Roms is on YouTube. Thank you for watching. It says that this episode had so many Easter eggs. The Living Tribunal statue, I missed that. The Hydra helicarrier, I got that one. Thanos copter, we talked a little bit about. Oh, Throg, was he in? Was that who that was in the bottle?
Oh, and
the the mini Thor? Was it actually a frog? Man, I got to go back and
actually,
look.
yeah, it was.
It was. Okay, so I did. So we did get frog. Okay,
frog Thor. Okay,
it says it Ronin ship, the Philadelphia experiment, which was actually a really good reference. Thanks, Roms, for pointing that out. That's actually something that really did happen. The government tried to back in the day make a ship disappear, and they failed, obviously. But it's interesting that these variants actually the ship did disappear. And that probably wasn't supposed to happen, so that's why they got pruned, which I think is kind of cool. And also Avengers Tower, which we definitely saw that.
Good catch, Roms. Thanks.
Yeah, dude, he really came through. He's got a few more comments for us here. It says, of an A, it has King Enterprises on it, a company that was created by Nathaniel Richards, and Nathaniel Richards is King the Conqueror. And also, Alioth, the purple cloud beast, is a trans-dimensional being. Okay, so that's kind of why he kind of reminded me a little bit of Dormammu with that sort of purple aura thing going on.
Right. Well, I think that part with Alioth definitely made sense when they mentioned he was a tempest, like he's a storm.
Right.
So that for me was like, okay, so he's appearing from one place, even though he resides in that made perfect sense. Yeah.
I thought it was just Galactus from the Fantastic Four movie.
There you go. Right.
Silly. Now, Nathaniel Richards, that is Reed and Sue Richards' son, right?
Supposedly the most powerful mutant.
I thought that was Franklin.
That's my bad. You know what?
Nathaniel would be the younger one, correct?
Nathaniel is somebody else. No.
Legion's brother.
Something like that's why I'm asking, because I'm like
Fantastic
Franklin
Four,
Richards.
No, it's been Franklin and Valerie. They only had two children.
Okay.
2 children.
So I got to do some homework. I was just introduced to Nathaniel Richards. That's the name of King the Conqueror. That's my first time. Again, thanks, Roms. That's
Thank you.
Needed that.
We got more coming. We got more coming. So let's
nice.
I think it was supposed to be in reference to Alioth devours temporal mass, and King the Conqueror fears Alioth the most. Means it's stuff pointing at Kang. Okay, so basically the concept that Alioth is in the final void is a hint towards Kang, which I mean I think that's where they're going with all of this anyways.
Right,
so
Kang
makes
sense. And we've been talking about that since WandaVision.
Yeah,
that makes
for
sense.
Sure. He says, my main bet is on Kang. My second bet is on King Loki, because in the trailer we see King Loki, but we haven't seen any footage of him. Nice catch again. Yeah, that is so true. King
Even
Loki,
though we saw President Loki, we haven't seen King Loki. Yeah. He's absolutely right.
Yeah. President Loki was kind of a misdirect, but that's okay.
Yeah. I like how they did that. For those like Roms who caught that in the trailer, I didn't catch the King Loki, but I didn't catch the President Loki.
Either.
But in this moment, I do remember seeing that.
Yeah, he's got an eagle eye. He continues.
And that was the episode 5 trailer.
Right. He continues to say that. So that's why my second bet. My third bet is he who remains a past TVA agent who created the Timekeepers and gave them knowledge of the past sacred timeline. Okay. So somebody who is like the original TVA agent,
and that's
like maybe an original variant. That would be kind of cool. Maybe that ties into Kang as well. Maybe he's like an original variant. Let's see. And now we got some more chats here.
Thanks a lot for tuning in, guys.
Really thank you so much. We really appreciate it. We're always so happy to hear from you guys. And it says that the God the Chosen says, do you think that the villain is Kang or a Loki variant? Yeah, I think that's where we're kind of getting at. I think those are probably the both the best answers there. Yeah.
That Loki variant one, man. I came up with that a long time ago, and now everybody's with it. I appreciate that. Now, I don't think it's because of me. I think it's one of those things that it's like, all right, this is a lot of Lokis. Like Loki is running. This is a Loki thing. I guarantee it. It's not just me, guys.
It makes sense. If it's going to be named Loki, everything is pretty much Loki anyway.
Loki, yeah. And for the record, speaking of everything being Loki, when I saw Mobius in the void, I swore like I knew he was a Loki, but that wasn't the case.
Right. You just see him in the void, and he has two little horns on. Like, wow.
Right.
I guess it was a Loki this whole time. Roms again says also the castle reminded me of the Doom Castle, which I definitely reminded me of that as well. A lot of I got Transylvania vibes too, almost like Dracula or something like that.
Right.
Which kind of maybe hints at Morbius, right?
Well, Dracula is part of the MCU in its own.
That does get back to Morbius.
Yeah.
And but that would you have Dracula and Morbius. In fact, we don't just have one vampire.
Yeah, and they've mentioned vampires a few times now, and so I think that they're kind of starting to prepare us for a vampire strand of Marvel movies. They have Blade coming out.
They're redoing Blade and all that. I'm excited for that. And apparently Wesley Snipes is still on the bill.
He might be.
He might be an executive producer.
What's his name? He might
like a mentor type, like a Morpheus type.
Oh, that'd be cool.
What's his name? Wes
Craven.
No, because his mentor's name was like Wesper or something.
Oh, Whisper. So he would be like the new Whisper. Oh,
I think he might be coming on as Whisper.
That's sick.
That would be kind of cool. I would like to see him again.
Or just a cameo, like the old.
Or cameo. Yeah, that would be kind of
blind vampire slayer, huh?
Yeah. We got the God the Chosen says, do you guys think that they'll make Loki and Sylvia a couple? I don't really. I don't really think so. I don't think so, man. I think they're going to be friends, and then Loki's just going to.
I don't think it's going to be sexual, but they are bonded from this point forward. I think you have to kill one to get the other one out of here.
Oh yeah, so maybe at the end they touch tips.
Let's play some.
And then they created all the new timelines.
She just drops.
No more kindergarten cop for you, sir.
She just drops a sack like. She changed his mind like no.
Yeah. I thought we were friends.
No, he's bisexual now. It wouldn't matter.
Oh, that's true. He wouldn't matter. I think he's down. I think he's down for the cause. I think he's down.
Gosh, to answer your question, the God, the Chosen, I actually think they are already a couple, but I don't think they will make them a sexual couple. If that answers your question.
Yeah, I think he'll get put up in the friend zone. To be honest, I think
friend zone. Okay.
Yeah. And honestly, he's not tough enough to be winning the girl at the end. I think that the girl wins him at the end at this point.
Mobius is going to be taking it.
Yeah. Maybe Mobius and Sylvie should get together, actually. Let's see. The God You Chosen also said that the best reference is 100% the Thanos copter. I agree. That's one because that was one that I actually got. So let's see. Rom says here, also Red Skull's escape ship from Captain America First Avenger, the Yellow Jacket helmet, multiple skeletons of Leviathans, the aliens, which I saw, and the Avengers who fought in the Avengers movie. Yeah, dude, there's so many.
On the, wow, that didn't process until I'm reading that. I saw that. I saw the Red Skull escape ship. It was weird. I didn't process most of that. Again, thanks, Rom. You're awesome.
Yeah, seriously.
I didn't process most of that, but I saw most of it.
At the end of it, too, you do see a helicarrier.
Hey. The tricks your brain plays on you when you got to have time to process these things.
Also, the images move so fast that you can barely pick them all up. So, yeah, you really got to kind of go slow and look through all of them. Let's see. The God You Chosen says, I think they'll end up together, to be honest. I mean, it is a Disney ending, for them to end up together. I just don't think that it's on the message of and let's be honest here, they're doing the female empowerment thing. So I just don't think that it's on message to have the strong female character end up with a man. And
you don't think she'll be singing a whole new world at the end of this one?
No, exactly. I think that Disney's trying to steer away from that image, and so that's why I think that they're probably not going to have that sort of fairy tale ending for them.
Yes,
both.
please don't do that. That Aladdin, don't bring that Aladdin in. That movie was fine until that extra song with Jasmine. I was just like,
come on, man. I know.
Aladdin.
Yeah. Aladdin, which was actually Chinese, which is interesting. Rom says, also the destroyed Sanctum. Dude, destroyed Sanctum? Lamentus and the escape ship.
The Lamentus one escape ship, I remember. But what was Sanctum?
The Doctor Strange's Sanctum, I assume.
Oh, jeez.
He's like picking up so many. Holy moly. I'm impressed, Rom. Seriously. Thank you for bringing that to our attention, because we're just apparently blind or something. I don't know. We'll do better next time.
We gotta get out of the G League, guys.
Yeah, we do. We're amateur hour right now. The God Chosen says, I think they will hold hands but never kiss. Now, see, I think that's probably closer because they could leave it as like an ambiguous, like, oh, they could just be friends or they could be something more, but we're not going to confirm that. And of course, I do think that they're going to have one of those moments where something happens where they hold hands and then all of a sudden these timelines burst up out of nowhere. That'll be that sort of thing. And last comment here, the God Chosen says, that's how I think it will end between Loki and Sylvie. They'll just hold hands and never kiss. I mean, I can see that. I can see them kind of being friendly with each other and then maybe having like a deep connection, but Disney is very good about skirting the line. So
that gave me an idea. It might have that Fight Club ending.
Right.
You see everything, all these banking establishments.
I'd actually like that. I'd actually kind of like that.
Just going
all the
ways.
Timelines. That'd be kind of cool, actually. I wouldn't mind that. Yeah. Yeah, well, they play some stuff. Rom's final comment here is he says, "No, it's okay. I watched the episodes."
Oh, wow.
A quarter speed, so that makes sense.
Nice.
Yeah.
Very nice.
You really do have to watch it that slow to catch all of that stuff. That's really incredible. Thank you guys. Thank you to Roms and to God Chosen for commenting. We really appreciate interacting with you guys. So in the future, if anybody else watching wants to interact while we're live, we're more than happy to read comments and interact with each other or with you guys. We just appreciate so much that you guys listen, and it really makes our day. So thank you very much. Do you guys want to have anything else before we wrap up?
Oh man, I think I've pretty much said everything I have for sure. I don't think Loki is going to sacrifice himself for Sylvie. I firmly believe that the Hidden City is not going to be as impressive. However, it will shed more light to the situation, whether we find out it's a Loki variant or whom's running it, or what's the next big bad in the movie. Because I think we had a good idea that Thanos was coming when he came. We had a good idea of Ultron before he came. I mean, we can date all the way back to the Abomination. We always kind of had a good idea of what was coming with that. So I think from this point, what we're going to get in the last episode, just as I feel we got a full circle in Falcon Winter Soldier. We had not really an open end, but a promising end from WandaVision. And I think this is going to fall somewhere between there.
Yeah. I mean, we only got an hour left. So I guess we're going to find out regardless next week. Dejan, did you have anything you wanted to add before we wrap up, man?
I just can't wait to see what's going to happen.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I'm looking forward to seeing how they try to tie this into a bow. So we will be here next week when they do that. Same bat time, oh, that's the wrong franchise. Never mind. Yeah, I said that. I said naughty words.
That's great.
Same time, 8:00 Wednesday and Sunday. I do apologize. Our schedule might be a little bit crazy. There's some stuff that I'm dealing with outside of the podcast that might need a little bit of flexibility, but we promise that we'll have a regular schedule going forward, hopefully Wednesdays and Sundays for Screen Time Continuum as always. If you want to check out what Keelan does on his podcast, If Numbers Could Talk, that's Tuesday nights at 6 p.m. He just finished an episode yesterday, right, Keelan?
Yes, indeed. Covered the beginning of the NBA Finals and essentially how that works, how that led all the way there. So, yeah.
Awesome. Go check that out. And please make sure you follow his Facebook and his YouTube page, If Numbers Could Talk. He's on Tuesday nights, every Tuesday night at 6 p.m. And then we got the Dijon, the Mustard. He's been battling Conkers Live and Reloaded on Twitch every Tuesday and Thursday night at 10 p.m. He's going to be coming on actually tonight at 10 p.m. So if you guys want to watch him finish Conkers Live and Reloaded, because last time he had some fits and he is ready to be done with it. He's going to be
rage quit tonight.
Or if he doesn't rage quit, exactly. He's going to be live on Twitch this evening, but he normally is on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 10 p.m. Strawberries and Coffee. like in and out. He also posts his live streams to YouTube the day after, so you can catch those on YouTube at Strawberries and Coffee as well. I have a podcast called Exofathom Monday and Friday night, 8 p.m. If you're interested in the conspiratorial, the governments, the philosophy, a little bit of metaphysics, some mythology. That's kind of what we cover over on my show. Our schedule is going to be a little bit touchy because, again, I have some things I need to take care of. But Monday and Friday at 8 p.m. are usually scheduled times. But we have a back catalog of 60 or 70 shows to watch if you guys just can't wait. Well, we appreciate that. Please go check us out, Exofathom on Facebook and YouTube. We're also part of the Thinkering Talks group, which is on Facebook at Thinkering Talks, where you can catch all of our podcasts. And we're going to be starting to post Dijon's Twitch streams there too, so that'll be great. But if you guys are just purists at heart and want to hear us blabber on about movies and TV shows and critique things for which we have no credentials to critique, thank you so much for taking this trip with us through the Screen Time Continuum. For Screen Time Continuum, I am Nick.
I am Keelan.
I'm the Mustard.
Good night, everyone.